A few moons back, I made a video about the Logan's Run handgun. It's a Sandman, deep sleep gun, etc. names. It's a movie prop weapon that used a combustible gas that it would be ignited and pushed out as a jet into what looks like a muzzle brake here. That's actually a mixing area for the air, so it would burn and kind of detonate. Now, it was futzed around with several iterations, and this is what it looks like as its end product. It has a trigger, has a switch, a glow plug, a canister that's filled with a type of magic dust and water, and it feeds in here through an air valve, and it has a little triangle on the side because that was used to mount it to the holster. And this is a modern replica and or original version, hero version from the movie. Don't know. This is a 1960s, 70s era kind of fashion statement, I say. It's one of those movies back in the old days when, you know, they would have, quote, tasteful nudity and etc. Let's move on. That's what it looked like. And that was visible in the movie, in frame. I mean, there's practical effects, and then there's, I want to see this in a John Wick movie. Really neat. But anyway, here's an inside look at it. When you push down on this switch, it would pop open a valve. At the time, they used a very different valve. And it would let in a flammable gas that would be ignited. And this one is using a couple of batteries. So it's 3 volts. And it goes through this switch that turns on a glow plug to heat up the gas and or ignite it. And there's what the canister looked like. And you'd put in magic rocks and give them a little bit of water. And that's the holster where that little triangle on the side goes in. It's actually kind of neat. It will also be a fairly good version of a retention holster, I think. Anyway, those are the pictures of it. And this is a replica, and it says functional. Anyway, here's the Racks prop page I used before. It has all sorts of cool pictures and stuff. But this is what it looked like in the movie. And if you got a good look at it, or could see it on the video or film, you'd see a bunch of details. And yeah, it looks basically the same. And that's a photo of them after the movie, right afterwards. This is what it looked like internally. Yeah, it's a bunch of brass tubing and copper and, yeah, it looks like this is a Smith & Methson looking thing. But anyway, the idea with it is, well, let's just look at the blueprints. Glow plug would just get really hot and make it to where any gas came in contact it would combust. Acetylene gas is produced in here by having calcium carbide rocks in it. It's not a mineral. I made a mistake saying it was a mineral at one point. It used to use a 2-volt high amperage gel cell to do it, so it would heat this up reliably by flipping the switch. And then you push this button, the switch here, and that would provide you with the gas being released, and it would collect in this space here and then explode when it came in contact with the air and the heating element, and it'd create that beautiful flash effect. And then here we are with a bust down of it. They just stuck a standard ever-ready battery in it just to show it working or being workable. This is in really bad condition. And yeah, that soldering job is absolutely terror-inducing. Now let's move on. Those are the parts themselves. And now I'm going to get to the Austin Magic Pistol. Goes off with a bang. Harmless. Retails for $250. I'm on a $250 bit. But what the hell is this? It's the same thing. This one, however, was designed to throw a projectile. A specific state for a period of time and may currently have a law that says this is considered a destructive device in a firearm because, well, I'll show you really quickly here. This is literally what it looks like. It is a can. It's just a can with a screw top on it. Nothing else. It's not any stronger than the one you might have. And what you do is you put in calcium carbide into it and some drops of water, and it would produce highly toxic, poisonous, deadly, and extremely unstable explosive gas. This would then filter into the space back here, and you'd stuff in your ping-pong ball. This trigger back here would run either a spark generator or maybe a piezoelectric clicker, one of the two. But this would set off the gas in this chamber and project out your thing. The thing is, there are very few of these available or existent anymore because a lot of them blew the fuck up. They just blew up. Not any details, whether it used piezo or spark. There's so few examples that pieces are missing. A lot of them are reconstructed from blown up ones. Doesn't matter. Anyway, just thought I'd show you. This is what the inside of that nasty container looked like. That had a metal mesh in it. That is bug screen. You'd put in your carbide, some drops of water, and then the rest of the space would be the combustion chamber. Now, some of you out there are already wriggling in your seats because you realize calcium carbide should not be exposed to an explosive shockwave. You shouldn't do that. It can burn on its own. That might have happened in this one. And if anybody's curious, no, I'm not going to give you information on where to buy these or how to make them. Anyway, Virginia made a law against them. Anyway, there's a video here. I'm just going to hit this button and mute it. Hopefully it stays mute. And let's just get to here. Come on, a little further, a little further. Let's get to the good part. Come on, I should have queued this up. Okay, here we go. Shakes it, and bang. Now he's going to show a wide view, bang, and then another bang. And it throws a ping pong ball that goes maybe 40 feet, but that's what the thing did. And it was loud as frig. So anyway, yeah, times were different in the 50s. This was a toy sold to children. So what could possibly go wrong? Well, if you didn't push it just partially in, if you pushed it all the way in, and if you used this was a bad idea. There's a type of ball that's used for another game. It's a hard ball. People would put in, I think it's a squash ball. It would, number one, it'd blow up. Number two, the thing would accelerate to around 500 feet per second and hit with the same force as a shotgun slug. Now let's go to India, because of course it's going to be India. How to make a calcium carbide GAN 2 years ago. They call them sound guns because they're used almost exclusively to make a loud popping noise. And making them overbuilt out of steel pipe, or in this case, a hollowed out metal broom handle. Hey, safety first. This is a thing that happens in India. Normally they make them out of a really long hunk of pipe and jam a plug in it so that it won't blow back in their face. And they fill it up with carbide and then detonate it by putting it near a hot spark. And they use it to celebrate instead of using fireworks because this is less dangerous. Because it's less dangerous. Anyway, you can look that up. So anyway, I was on a thing looking up the current replica prop Sandman guns, realizing that all I had to do is just kind of, modify the thing to be basically a calcium carbide acetylene gas paintball gun that fires something more serious. Did I mention the squash balls? I think they're squash balls. Squash balls are now a meme. So anyway, yeah, this was seriously. It was made out of pieces like a Ronson lighter valve and a bunch of other things. This is not beyond low tech. This is the definition of low tech. So yeah, that's some interesting stuff there. So this thing is totally not related to this thing. 1950s, Logan's Run. I might have found the origin story, and it was frightening. And yes, the patents for these things are available. You can read them. I'm not going to provide links. I just thought I'd bring it up that this happened. Now, I want to point out that someone made a paintball gun that did the same thing. It didn't use acetylene gas because, if you're not aware of it, acetylene gas does not have an upper speed limit. Gunpowder and most other gases like propane have an upper speed of deflagration, meaning they won't truly explode, number one. Number two, they won't work well in a modern firearm, to do whatever. But acetylene gas can, and someone did get a hold of, for a while, a paintball gun that ran on propane gas and converted it over to acetylene and managed to get nearly shotgun speeds or rifle speeds out of it before he damaged it enough he didn't do it again. And yeah, he did it duct taped to a tree because he didn't want to be anywhere near it. But you get the idea. And none of this is regulated. It still isn't, except in the state of Virginia, because this should have never been sold to children or grown-ups. I mean, if I had one of these, you already know I would have done a video by now. It would have been disastrous. It would have been in the news. No, nobody should let me touch this. This is so much bad idea going on here. This is so too much temptation. But yeah, I just thought I'd do a video on this. I knew about this, but I didn't make the connection from a 1950s toy to a prop during a movie called Logan's Run. This is an acetylene gas gun, or a carbide gun, or a phase plasma rifle, 10-watt range. Anyway, YouTube videos, you look up calcium carbide pistol or gun, and they're all going to be from India, and they're all going to be exactly what you expect. Oh my God. Thanks for watching. Bye.